There are times when the sky seems to speak, moments when the universe ceases to be merely a distant backdrop and becomes a mirror of what is happening within us. The appearance of a new light in the heavens has always been a sign, and this light, called 3I Atlas, is not just a rock traveling through space. It is the messenger of a new time, a silent reminder that the old cycle has reached its limit and that something grand, inevitable, and overwhelming is about to begin. You feel it, don't you? The air is different. The days go by faster, people are restless, and there's an invisible energy permeating everything, as if time itself were changing direction. 3I Atlas emerges as a celestial mirror of this shift, and what will happen next might send shivers down the spine of even the most skeptical soul, because it's not just the end of an era, it's a call to collective awakening. Stay with me until the end, and you'll understand why this visitor from space is a sign that nothing will ever be the same again. Imagine a solitary light cutting through the void of space, traveling through countless ages, carrying within its depths the dust of forgotten worlds. This light does not follow known routes. It comes from too far away, from before time, from where beginning and end merge. When 3I Atlas approaches, something within the human soul stirs, as if recognizing an ancient calling, because on some level, we know, everything that comes from above carries messages for those who are awake enough to hear. The silence that accompanies this visitor is not an absence of sound, but the presence of mystery. He doesn't speak in words, he speaks in vibrations. And when this vibration touches the earth, what was once dormant begins to move. Old structures begin to crumble, old beliefs shatter, and a new consciousness tries to be born amidst the chaos. That's why many feel fear, others feel euphoria, and some simply observe, because without realizing it, the sky is mirroring what happens within each of us. With each passage of a body from beyond the stars, a different energy touches the planet's field. Some say it's just coincidence, but nothing in the universe is by chance. Everything that crosses our path has a purpose. 3 Atlas traverses space not only as a celestial body, but as a sign of closure, a spiritual milestone that divides the before and after of humanity. And when the sky changes, the earth responds, and we change along with it. Perhaps you've been feeling a restlessness lately that's hard to explain. Sleep that won't come, thoughts that seem more intense, emotions on edge. This isn't just anxiety, it's attunement. It's the planet's field adjusting to the new vibration. And the comet, or messenger, only confirms what the soul already knows. The time has come to awaken from the old slumber. The old cycle no longer has power, and the new one is knocking at the door. Therefore, don't look at 3I Atlas as a distant phenomenon. It is a mirror, a symbol, a code of light traveling to us to remind us who we are. And its brilliance, however brief, is enough to rewrite the destiny of those who are attentive. Because when the sky speaks, the soul listens, and those who truly listen are never the same again. There comes a moment in every journey when the road itself begins to crumble behind us. What once sustained us no longer does, and everything that seemed solid begins to dissolve like mist in the sun. This is how the end of a cycle announces itself, not with explosions or noise, but with the silence of something that loses its meaning. The old world is collapsing, not in destruction, but in liberation. The walls that bound humanity to fear, control, and repetition have begun to crack. It is the end of a time of deep sleep, and awakening is inevitable, even if it hurts. For centuries, humanity has lived within a broken mirror, seeing fragments of reality and believing them to be the whole. This ancient cycle was built upon illusions: power, status, domination, separation, and now these illusions no longer find sustenance. When a system based on the forgetting of the soul reaches its limit, the universe itself conspires to dissolve it. This is what is happening now, before everyone's eyes, even those who pretend not to see. Political, social, and spiritual structures tremble because they no longer have a foundation in truth. The end of the old cycle is also the end of dependence. For too long, we were taught to seek outside what has always been within. We were molded to follow, not to feel, to believe, not to know. But the messenger from heaven came as a reminder. It's time to remember who we are without the masks the world has imposed. It's time to face the mirror without fear of the reflection, because the cycle that ends takes away not only old beliefs but also the invisible prisons of human consciousness. And when these chains break, fear tries to hold back what is escaping, but it's already too late. Look around you. Everything that was predictable is becoming uncertain. People change suddenly. Paths are reversed. Time seems to be running out. This is the closing of a cycle. The old way of existing, based on control, repetition, and denial of essence, is being drained from the planet, and the new, still gestating, is demanding its place. The energy that arrives from outside, like the glow of the three-eye atlas, acts as a cosmic mirror, reflecting what must be left behind. Each of us is being tested. What do you still carry that belongs to the old world? There's no way to cross this portal without letting go. It's a moment of surrender, of detachment, of trust. The old doesn't disappear in a day. It gradually dissolves, while the new pulsates from within. But the more you try to hold on to what no longer belongs to the present, the more the universe forces the rupture. This is the true meaning of the end of a cycle, the rebirth of the essence behind the ruins of the character. And when the last mask falls, the light of the new time can finally enter. Between the end and the beginning lies a sacred instant, the portal. It is that moment when everything seems suspended, where nothing is as it was, but is not yet what it will be. It is in this space that awakening happens. The three-eye atlas does not come to destroy, it comes to open. It is the touch of eternity reminding humanity of its cosmic origin. When such a messenger crosses space, it does not merely cut through the void, it tears veils, and the veil that covers the collective consciousness begins to unravel, revealing what has always been there hidden beneath layers of fear. Awakening is different from what many imagine. It doesn't come with lights and certainties, but with confusion and silence. It's like waking up in a dark room without knowing where the door is. And it is precisely in this darkness that the soul begins to see again. The portal is not a physical passage, it is a vibrational state. It opens from within, and only those who turn inward can cross it. The comet merely reflects in the sky what is happening in the invisible, an opening between worlds, a silent invitation to leave the collective dream and enter the real presence. But crossing that threshold requires courage, because awakening isn't pretty, it's real. It reveals everything that was hidden, everything that was denied, everything that was dormant. That's why so many resist. That's why so many feel the emotional pressure, the inexplicable exhaustion, the waves of sadness and euphoria. It's the soul expanding within a body that still tries to live in the old times. And as awakening happens, what isn't true begins to crumble. Relationships, jobs, identities, everything built on illusion, is called upon to unravel. The portal also brings back memories. Old memories from other times and lives begin to emerge. And suddenly, what seemed distant becomes familiar. The sound of the wind, the gleam of a star, the gaze of a stranger, everything begins to speak to you. The universe whispers through signs. Each coincidence, each synchronicity, is how the new time presents itself. But silence is needed to hear, and humility to accept that we are facing something much greater than the mind can comprehend. At the heart of this process lies choice, to cross or not to cross the portal, to remain in the old or to walk towards the new. This choice is not made with words, but with vibration. It is the vibration of the soul that defines destiny, and when heaven sends a visitor from beyond, it is as if it were saying, "Now is the time. Awaken." The portal is open, and whoever crosses with a pure heart will see the world with eyes that will never be the same again. Not all will hear the call, but it is ringing. It is a frequency that vibrates beyond human senses, an ancient melody, recognized only by those who keep their hearts awake. The three-eye atlas is like the ringing of a cosmic bell, resonating through all dimensions, calling back the children of light, those who came before, those who promised to return when the world forgot who they were. This is the time of return, and the ancient souls are beginning to remember. You feel this calling when you look at the sky and something inside you stirs for no apparent reason. You feel it when your body trembles upon hearing certain words, or when tears well up without cause. It is spiritual memory awakening. Every particle of who you are responds to the vibration of the new time. It's as if an invisible force were saying, "Rise up, the cycle has ended. It's time to shine." And even if the world seems plunged into chaos, this silent light continues to grow, piercing walls, borders, and fears. The children of light are not perfect beings. They are human, like you and me, but they remember what others have forgotten, that we come from the same origin and will return to it. They don't preach, They radiate. They don't convince. They inspire. Their mere presence already changes the field around them. And at this very moment, thousands are awakening in different parts of the planet without knowing each other, but guided by the same invisible impulse. This network of consciousness is the true army of the New Age, unarmed, but anchored in the vibration of truth. But the call is not gentle. It tears, it demands, it transforms, because those who hear it can no longer pretend. The awakened soul feels the urgency to live with purpose, to heal, to serve, to align with something greater. And this frightens the ego, which tries to resist, justify, postpone. However, there is no more time. The new cycle has already begun to pulsate, and those who do not align with it will be invited, sooner or later, to change by the force of events. Love is calling, and love, when it arrives, tears down everything that is false. And so the Three-Eye Atlas is not just a celestial body, it is the sign that reactivates the forgotten pact. Every soul that feels the call is being positioned for the new time. The old world closes its doors, but a new dawn is preparing beyond the horizon. And when the light fully touches the earth, those who heard the call will know the old cycle is gone, and now begins the time of true reunion. There is a subtle energy coursing through the world now, a vibration that many feel without knowing how to name it. It is the invisible fire that purifies everything it touches. It doesn't burn the skin, but it ignites illusions. It is this fire that the Three-Eye Atlas awakens as it approaches, a wave of light that forces each soul to confront what still needs to be transmuted. It is not punishment, it is liberation. The old world cannot cross this portal with the weight of lies, and therefore everything that is false comes to the surface to be burned on the altar of truth. This fire manifests itself in many ways, in crises, in breakups, in sudden changes. Everything that is not aligned with the new begins to crumble. It is the soul deep down asking for space to breathe. And, even if it seems like pain, it is only the old dissolving. Many try to resist, fighting against what the universe is trying to heal. But the more one fights, the more the fire consumes. Surrender is the key. The secret is to allow the flame of transformation to do its work, because this fire did not come to destroy the being, it came to reveal the essence. Every tear that falls, every loss, every profound silence is part of the process. It's as if the universe is cleaning the windows of the soul so that light can enter. This purification is inevitable. No one can escape it. It is the baptism of a new time, and everyone on some level will be touched by it. Some by pain, others by clarity, others by faith. The important thing is to understand that none of this is against you. It is divine love in its most intense form, tearing away what prevents the blossoming of your true nature. But it's natural to feel fear. Fire is unpredictable, and the ego fears losing control. However, this is the time to remember, you are not being burned, you are being forged. True gold only emerges after melting. The soul, to shine, needs to pass through the heat of purification. That is why so many feel the call to silence, to recollection, to deep meditation. It is the soul's instinct preparing to withstand the new brilliance that is coming. The invisible fire is proof of divine love, even when it seems otherwise. When this process is over, and it will be, a new being will emerge, lighter, more conscious, more truthful. And in that instant, you will understand that the fire was not the enemy, but the guardian of the portal. It burned away the shadows so that the light could dwell within you. And then, what remains will be pure, immutable, and eternal. The burning of the world is merely the prelude to your resurrection. In the midst of all this, there is a single compass that never fails. The heart. Not the physical heart, but the silent center of your consciousness. The secret temple where ancestral wisdom resides. When everything collapses, when chaos seems to reign, it is the heart that knows the way. It is what connects you to the truth behind appearances. The Three-Eye Atlas, this visitor of light, awakens this connection. It vibrates at a frequency that speaks directly to the heart of those who are ready to listen. That is why, even without understanding, you feel something stirring within you. But the heart, to be heard, needs space. The modern world has covered it with noise, opinions, fears, distractions, haste. The heart doesn't shout, it whispers. And in this time of transition, silence becomes a sacred act. Whoever learns to silence the noise of the mind begins to hear the sound of the soul. And when the heart speaks, doubts cease. Not because all the answers are revealed, but because love becomes the answer to everything. The heart is the code that unlocks the new world, and love is the language of that code. This is the secret of those who will navigate this new cycle in peace, to live from the heart. It's not romanticism, it's power. The heart is the only point where the human touches the divine, the portal between the visible and the invisible. When you follow it, the universe reorganizes itself. The right doors open, the right people appear, paths align. And there is no effort in this, only fluidity. The old world teaches how to conquer. The new world will teach how to tune in. And this tuning in is born in the heart. But it takes courage to live like this, because the heart is truthful, and the truth hurts when we are still trapped in lies. It will show what needs healing. It will reveal what you try to hide. Many run from this, but those who persevere discover the true power of life. The heart does not err. It is the mind that doubts it that errs. Therefore, in this new era, the mind will lose its throne, and the heart will assume power. And this will change everything. The way we think, love, create, and exist. The new cycle, heralded by the signs in the sky, will be guided by awakened hearts, men and women who no longer live in fear, but in the vibration of truth. And when this new generation of consciousness rises, the planet will know a kind of peace that the old world could never sustain. The heart is the key. It always has been. And the comet only came to remind us of that. The brilliance of the three-eye atlas illuminates more than the sky. It illuminates the shadows. And when the light arrives, nothing false can remain hidden. That is why the new era is also a time of exposure. Everything that has been hidden, distorted, manipulated, or denied will come to light. Social, spiritual, and personal masks will begin to fall. And for many, this will be the most difficult moment, because the ego hates being exposed. But the new cycle cannot be born amidst lies. It demands transparency, authenticity, and truth. Masks are not just disguises. They are prisons. They are the identities we create to be accepted, the roles we play to fit in. But there comes a time when the soul can no longer bear to live in fragments. The light of the new era exposes every crack, every deception, every repressed shadow. This can cause crises, ruptures, and confusion. But all of this is healing. It is the cocoon breaking to release the butterfly. Pain is not punishment, it is liberation. The fall of the masks is the point at which humanity is confronted with its own truth. The mirror becomes clear, and there is no longer any escape. Some will try to hide behind superficial spiritualities, others behind materialism. But the light penetrates everything. Nothing will remain hidden. It is the time of naked truth, without adornment, without illusions. And only those who are true to themselves will be able to sustain the energy of the new cycle. In the midst of this collective unveiling, many will feel shame, guilt, confusion. But it's important to remember, we are not being condemned. We are being revealed. Revelation is the purest form of love. The universe is showing us who we truly are, not to punish us, but to set us free. Because we can only be whole when we are complete. And we will only be complete when we let go of everything that is not real. When the last mass touches the ground, something magnificent will happen. Humanity will look itself in the eyes and recognize itself, without roles, without walls, without illusions. That is the true rebirth. It is when the human becomes divine again, and the divine returns to inhabit the human. The comet up there merely reflects this process down here. It shines because we too are learning to shine, not with borrowed light, but with our own flame. There is a point in the journey where the individual and the collective meet. When one soul awakens, it illuminates its surroundings, and when thousands awaken together, the entire planet shifts frequency. This is the moment we are entering now, the call for collective healing. The three-eye atlas has not merely come to be observed, but to activate dormant memories throughout humanity. It is a cosmic mirror reflecting what needs healing, within and without each of us. And the Earth, being a living being, responds to this call with waves of purification in all directions. Collective healing begins with pain, because it is pain that points to where energy is trapped. That's why so many are feeling exhausted, confused, unstable. What was once bearable now becomes unbearable. Everything that has been repressed, traumas, fears, resentments, comes to the surface. And this is not bad luck. It is liberation. It is the universe pushing humanity to the next level of consciousness. The old world can no longer carry the old wounds. They need to be seen, cried over, and healed, so that the new can flourish without weight. Every tear that falls during this time has a greater purpose. They are not a sign of weakness, but of purification. The planet is cleansing itself through us, and we are cleansing the planet through our emotions. It is a synchronized, invisible, but profoundly real movement. And the more each one heals, the more the collective field rises. This is how the new era will be built, not with ideologies or external revolutions, but with the inner alchemy of millions of hearts healing together. Collective healing also requires forgiveness, the most difficult of all acts. Because forgiveness is not forgetting, it is liberation from the vibration that binds us to pain. It is the recognition that no one knew what they were doing, because everyone was asleep. Now, as the veil falls, we begin to see with compassion. And when forgiveness happens, the past loses its power. Time ceases to be a prison and becomes a bridge. It is what the ancients called redemption, not as punishment, but as a return to harmony. When this healing is complete, and it will be, humanity will be able to breathe again with the planet. The Earth's vibration will change tone. The elements, wind, water, fire, and earth, will respond to the new frequency. Everything that was out of balance will return to its natural flow. This is what the Three-Eye Atlas came to announce. The time of healing. The time when wounds will finally be transformed into wisdom, and pain into light. Every profound change begins with a mismatch. It is the friction between the old and the new that creates the space for transformation. And at this moment, that is exactly what is happening. A realignment between worlds. The visible and invisible worlds are drawing closer again. The boundary between dimensions is becoming thinner, and the energy of the new cycle is beginning to manifest. What was once only intuition is now becoming evidence. What was once faith is now becoming direct experience. The veil is tearing, and this changes everything. This realignment affects not only the earth, but the very fabric of reality. Frequencies are reorganizing, energy fields are rebalancing, and human consciousness is expanding beyond its usual limits. Many are feeling this in their bodies. Vivid dreams, mood swings, intense sensations, heightened perceptions. The body is adapting to the planet's new vibration. It's as if the earth is climbing a step on the ladder of existence, and we are all being called to climb along with it. On the invisible plane, ancient energy hierarchies are dissolving. Forces that for ages have sustained the cycle of forgetfulness are losing strength. The dominion of fear and guilt is being undone by the expanding light of consciousness. And as this happens, time seems to accelerate. Days pass faster, events intertwine, and everything seems to happen all at once. This is not chaos. It is synchronization. The universe is realigning what needs to be together and separating what no longer belongs. But this process also requires detachment. Many things will cease to make sense. Relationships, jobs, dreams, identities. Everything that was built on an old vibration disintegrates, and this may seem like loss, but it is liberation. We are being invited to trust the flow, to let the river carry us to our new destination. Resisting only brings suffering. Accepting is floating in the current of life that knows exactly where it is going. And the heart, once again, is the rudder that guides us. When the realignment is complete, a new balance will emerge, between spirit and matter, between the visible and the invisible, between the human and the divine. This is the true meaning of the new cycle, not an escape from this world, but a transformation of it. The Three-Eye Atlas merely announced the beginning of the cosmic orchestra. Now it is humanity that must learn to dance to the new rhythm of creation. They say there are hidden memories in the stars, recollections of civilizations that lived before ours, and that in times of transition, return to visit us, not in body, but in vibration. The Three-Eye Atlas is a symbol of this return. It carries within it the energy of eras that the human mind has forgotten, but the soul still recognizes. It is the echo of the ancients returning to remind us of who we are. They do not come to command, but to remember. And those who listen with their hearts feel something much greater is being reactivated within humanity. These ancients are the guardians of original wisdom, those who kept the flame of consciousness alive through the ages. They never truly left. They merely fell silent while the world slept. Now, with the arrival of the new cycle, their presence is felt once more, in dreams, in intuitions, in synchronicities, in seemingly chance encounters. These are subtle signs that the veil between time is dissolving. What seemed distant is drawing ever closer, and the past and the future unite in the present. The return of the ancients is not an external event, but an inner awakening. They dwell within us in our spiritual memory codes. Each person who awakens their light also reactivates the ancestral wisdom that lay dormant. This is why so many feel the sudden desire to seek the meaning of life, to reconnect with nature, to honor the sacred. These are not new ideas, they are ancient memories resurfacing. And this is how the new humanity begins, remembering what it always knew, but had forgotten. These ancients also bring the energy of humility and responsibility. They remind us that all true power is born from love, and that wisdom is not a throne but a service. The new cycle will not be led by kings or priests, but by beings conscious of their own hearts. Authority will be internal, leadership will be vibrational. Each awakened soul will become a beacon, and together they will form the network of light that will sustain the new era. When the brilliance of these ancient beings unites with that of the new generation of consciousness, something unprecedented will happen. Earth will once again become a meeting point between worlds. Heaven and matter will reconcile. Time and eternity will dance together again. And what the three-eye atlas symbolized as a cosmic passage will be understood as the great return of eternal wisdom to the home of humanity. After wandering so long in the labyrinth of forgetfulness, the soul finally begins to find its center. It is there that truth dwells, not the truth of words or beliefs, but the truth that vibrates as a silent certainty within the heart. When the old cycle ends, all that was falsehood dissolves, and truth reveals itself as the light that has always been there, waiting to be seen. The three-eye atlas in its passage is a reflection of this cosmic revelation, the sign that the time of illusion has ended, and that reality, at last, returns to its throne. But the encounter with truth is, above all, an act of courage, because it doesn't come to comfort, it comes to liberate. And freedom at first can seem like loneliness. The mind that has lived dependent on external certainties tries to resist. However, when truth touches the soul, there is no turning back. It tears the veil of appearances and shows what has always been behind it. Love. Everything that seemed separate begins to unite. Everything that was fragmented begins to make sense. Truth is not an idea, it is a presence. This presence manifests itself in simple ways, in small gestures, in synchronicities that seem like coincidence, in the calm that arises for no apparent reason. It's as if the world suddenly breathes along with you. Truth doesn't shout, it whispers. And when the heart learns to hear it, life becomes prayer. Every step is guided, every choice aligns, every fear loses its power. Truth is the point of balance between heaven and earth. It is the link that connects the human to the divine. But not everyone is ready to see it. Some will still choose to remain in the shadows of the old times because lies are comfortable, predictable, and truth demands transformation. Yet, it waits, patient, silent, loving, for each one. Because truth does not exclude, it embraces. It does not punish, it illuminates. Even those who are lost, one day return. Truth is the home to which everyone will inevitably return. And when this return is complete, humanity will understand that there was never a separation, that everything that existed, the chaos, the pain, the fear, was merely the path back. The old cycle ends exactly where it began, within the human heart. And there, at the point of absolute stillness, truth reveals itself as the very essence of life. What the comet announced up above is the same as what the heart whispers down here. The time of remembrance has arrived. What will come after the end of the cycle will not merely be a change of era. It will be the rebirth of the world itself. A new heaven and a new earth are being prepared, not as external places, but as states of consciousness. The planet is ascending to a more subtle vibration, and everything compatible with this frequency will flourish. Cities will change, relationships will change, the way of life will change. Time will seem lighter, the air clearer, life more authentic. What was once survival will become creation. This new earth will not be conquered by force, but by vibration. It will not come from governments or profits, but from the silent awakening of millions of hearts. Each person who reconnects with their inner light is helping to build this new world. It is as if the universe were a great web of light, and each awakened heart ignites a point of it. Little by little, the darkness dissolves not because it is fought, but because the light becomes too intense for it to continue existing. The new sky, in turn, is the expansion of perception. The veil between dimensions becomes translucent, and human beings once again perceive what has always existed but was hidden, the presence of the sacred in everything. The wind ceases to be merely moving air and becomes a voice. The rain ceases to be merely water and becomes a blessing. The stars become guides once more, and humankind again is part of the cosmos and not its master. This reconnection changes everything, because where there is reverence, there is harmony. In the new world, time will no longer be the enemy. It doesn't run, it flows. Work will cease to be a burden and will become expression. Relationships will be encounters of souls, not of needs. Food will be energy, and energy, love. Suffering, which was once the harshest teacher, will give way to gentle wisdom. The planet will once again be a garden, and humanity, its guardian. What was once scarcity will transform into abundance because the consciousness that creates reality will have changed its tone. This is the new heaven and the new earth that the messenger from space came to announce. He crossed the infinite to remind us that everything in the universe is cyclical, and that rebirth is the natural destiny of all that lives. The old world bids farewell, but the new is already being born within those who feel it, and those who feel it will see it. Because paradise is not far away, it is only waiting for humanity to remember how it feels to be at home in the universe. Dawn always begins in the silence before day. It's that moment when the world is still dark, but the light is already appearing on the horizon. That's exactly where we are now, between the end of the night and the beginning of dawn. Those who have remembered already feel this inner clarity, a discreet warmth, an inexplicable serenity, a confidence without reason. They know that something has changed even if the world still seems the same, because the new cycle doesn't begin outside, it begins inside, in the vibration of those who have remembered themselves. These awakened souls are recognizing each other, without names, without flags, without religions. They are drawn to each other by vibration, recognize each other by gaze, and communicate through silence. They are the new builders, the guardians of the dawn. They did not come to fight the old, but to anchor the new. Wherever they go, they leave trails of peace, and even without realizing it, they heal, transform, and inspire. They are the first rays of the new dawn, and the more they gather, the more the light expands across the planet. The dawn of those who remember is not a grand event, but a subtle and irreversible change. People will begin to value the simple things, to seek the essential, to respect the invisible. Haste will decrease, listening will increase, and silence will become medicine. Love will cease to be a word and will return to being a vibration. And this vibration will spread like waves on water, touching all those who still sleep. Little by little, the whole world will be awakened by the gentle touch of a new consciousness. But dawn also calls for vigilance, because the shadows, before disappearing, will try to appear stronger. They will scream, provoke fear, confusion, doubt. It is the last gasp of the old world trying to survive. Therefore, those who remember must remain firm, centered, rooted in the light they carry. It is not a time to fight. It is a time to radiate. Light does not argue with darkness. It simply shines, and in shining it transforms everything around it. And when the sun of the new era finally rises fully, no one will be able to deny it. The air will be different, the people will be different, the very gaze of the earth will be different. The old cycle will have dissolved like mist at dawn, and humanity will have returned to its natural state, the living consciousness of unity. The Three-Eye Atlas will be remembered not as an astronomical event, but as the symbolic landmark of humanity's spiritual dawn, the beginning of all that is to come. Everything that begins, one day ends, but what is true never ceases to exist. The new cycle will not be the end of history, but rather the beginning of a new chapter of consciousness. The legacy that will remain from this time will be the awakening of humanity to its luminous nature. We will never be the same again. Those who crossed the night with faith, who endured the fire, who heard the call, now carry within themselves the code of the new creation. They are seeds of light planted in the fertile ground of a new world. The legacy of light is simple, yet powerful: to live in truth, in love, and in presence. It is a return to the wisdom that has always been within us, to the purity that was never lost, to the unity that sustains all that exists. When humanity fully understands this, there will be no more wars, hunger, or separation. There will be communion, because consciousness will no longer seek outside what it has already found within. The three-eye atlas did not come to be feared. It came to awaken the gaze that recognizes the sacred in everything. This new era will be remembered as the time of reunion, the reunion between the human and the divine, between spirit and matter, between heaven and earth. Every gesture of love will be a creative act. Every word of truth will be a seed of light, and every awakened heart will be a living star illuminating the path for those who are still awakening. The old world fades away, but the brilliance of those who have awakened will never cease to illuminate the universe. Now, it's up to you. This is the moment to choose which frequency you want to remain on. You can continue in the cycle of fear, or you can walk towards the cycle of light. The comet has passed, the signal has been given, and the portal is open. Everything you need is within you. The new time is not a destination, it's a decision. Decide to be light. Decide to be presence. Decide to be love, because the entire universe conspires in favor of those who choose to awaken. And if you felt this message touch something deep within your heart, it's because you're part of this new cycle. So I invite you, subscribe to the channel, to continue walking with me through the mysteries of this awakening. And if you've made it this far, write the keyword in the comments, Eternal Light. I want to see how many have truly stayed with me until the end of this journey of light.